Good day, good day. This is for Thomas Boykin, 703. He asked about the NFL and financial literacy. Now, financial literacy. I could take this many different places. But financial literacy will be racially driven. Where can I start with that? Who knows about finances? When do you learn about finances? Who is teaching you about finances on any level? So, let's look at the NFL player. Let's look at the disadvantage each player has, for the most part, to begin with. Most of the young men that are coming out, or as we say, coming out of the mud, they have nothing. Most of these young men are coming out of single parent situations. Most of these young men are coming from parents who aren't highly educated. Most of these young men are only going to school because they can play a sport. So let's take all of that. When do we learn finances? In elementary, middle, high, college? Who is teaching us finances? We have this concept of still keeping your money in your bed, in your shoebox, as if that's how money works. Money doesn't work that way. If your money is sitting in your house, it is doing absolutely nothing. I'm just finding out how money works. I'm 43. I'm learning the beginning of how money works. When people have been using money for generations to create more wealth. If your money is sitting still, it's doing nothing. It's a piece of paper that somebody put some ink on and said, hey, the ink on this one says it's value at 100. The ink on this one says it's value at 50. It's the same ink and the same piece of paper, probably worth less than 2 cents to make. They recreate it and keep doing it over and over and saying, hey, has this value. And we go right along with the psychological babble, as if it really has value. So when are we taught finances? So we take all those situations, and obviously this is not all because I'm a suburban kid, but I still wasn't taught much about finances. How to use it, when to use it. Oh, create a business. What does that mean? How do I create a business? Save your money. Make sure you take care of your money. What does that mean? If you're not showing me and taking me through the steps, I don't understand you because I've never been around a person with money. Just think about it. Now, I'm 21 years old. I'm 19 years old. I'm 20 years old, and you've given me $100,000. What do I do with it when I know nothing about money? 9 times out of 10, the first thing most of them buy are cars, jewelry, women. Nothing that will appreciate, and all are liabilities. Because in our culture, we're taught to show what we have and to show off for people who don't like us and even don't even know us. Because the assumption is once you get into the NFL, you are a millionaire. I didn't even have a check and people started asking me for money. I'm like, shorty, the only check I got was my OTAs, and that was $2,000. The government taking half of that. So they don't tell you about the jock tax. The jock tax, they're taking 40%. So if y'all watch the Melo found out in his career that there are feds on every property in the NFL and all probably major sports. Do you think the feds are going to let you make this much money and not be a part of it? Let's be for real. So understand the circumstances of many or majority of NFL athletes. I would have to do the stats on where they're coming from. Generally from the deep south. Generally from the mud. Generally single parents. Who is teaching us finances? The NFL. Because the thought process once you get to the league is I have to stay steady compete. You only know 1 or 2 NFL players per team. It's 53, 56, 60 people on the roster. You only know 1 or 2. And those 1 or 2 are the big contracts. Those 1 or 2 are the faces of the NFL. Those 1 or 2 are how the NFL is selling you on a product called the NFL, the National Football League. That's the business. We have to start looking at things as the business. Now, what we don't talk about is all the men that are robbing these little black boys because they know nothing about finances. We know nothing about money. In 2008, I was robbed several times. I guarantee you I lost maybe $250,000. Because, invest in this, invest in this, invest in this. Well, invest in this. This is how you do your money. But nobody's giving us the information. And we're trusting in people that we don't know. And 9 times out of 10 don't look like us because we have been taught in our community, white people know better than we do. When I first got in the league, the reason I changed my agent is because he was black and from Delaware State. Strictly just like that. But guess what my first agent told me? Well, black agents aren't successful because they don't go to bar mitzvahs. They're not invited to the golf tournaments. The clash in culture, the misunderstanding of culture. That's why I said it's racially driven. So the thought process is, hey, why would I get a black agent when they have no leverage? They have no connection to the owners because the owners, 80, 90, 100% white males. Now, that was my time. Things have changed a little bit. The leverage has changed a little bit. Some people are understanding that, hey, black people can do stuff too. So, to answer your question, this is a loaded and a hard question because it's at different levels. And I'm a suburban kid. I come from Baltimore City. You know, we came off of welfare a little bit. We ain't had that much money. But eventually, I grew up in the suburbs. I went to pretty good, decent high school. At no point in time did anybody teach me about money. Take care of your money. Save your money. Invest your money. What does that mean? You got $100 million in the bank and don't know what to do with it. And what you see is athlete after athlete getting robbed and robbed. And they don't mention it because it's white men robbing little black boys. That's just the reality. And then it's the black boy. And they living off our pain. From my understanding, black people, I've heard 11, I've heard 15th, I've heard 13th, are the richest nation on the planet. Black Americans are somewhere in that category, richest nation in the planet. I haven't been able to find the stats, but I've heard people speak about it. But yet, when we make a whole bunch of money, he's broke. Why do we go broke? How do we go broke if we have so much money? Because of what we're taught about finances. Give your money away to somebody else because somebody else is smarter than you. And then having the time, my focus at 21, 23 years old is to play ball. And they keep it that way. From 7 to 7, you play ball, boy. That's all you need to be concerned about. If you do anything else, it's a problem. I was an artist. This thing spins. When I play football, I'm in football. When I'm in music, I'm in music. I'm in present time. I don't necessarily have to focus on one thing all 100% of the time. Besides, personally, I think you go crazy if you do that. But if you don't do what I say to do, how to do it, guess what? You're not focused. I don't think you're serious. That's what I was told. Because I made a record, because I could draw, because I painted, because I sold paintings, I'm not focused. But if you look at my production, I never lost production. Every time you gave me the ball, I got scored. I was actually, my second year when they actually played me before they froze me out, I was still on the same level as what was in college. Every third catch was a touchdown. But if you're not that guy, if they don't like you, if they don't want you around, they find a way to get rid of you. That's the business. Nobody wants to talk about. And then people who are at different levels, they got interest to protect because they're not trying to lose their check. So the overall grand scheme of trying to teach and educate these young black boys before they get this money, the grand scheme is I got to get mine and you worry about yours. Because that's what we're taught in our community. I'm selfish, I'm selfish, I'm selfish, to hell with everybody else. That's what we're taught. And for me, I fall and get in trouble because I tell the truth. The results are, eventually I'm going to die. That's my result. Somebody going to kill me or I'm going to die. One way or the other, I'm out of here when the expiration button hit. So while I'm here, I'm going to tell you my vision, what I see and what I saw. And it's going to be facts and truth. And I'll deal with the consequences afterwards, or whatever comes with it. But that is my perception. That is what I've seen. We don't have information on finances. So it don't matter if the NFL is trying to teach you or not. I'm 21. You got me focused on football. Even my situation, I had a group, and it took me 2 years. I'm sitting there looking, and I finally saw the numbers, and I'm like, hold up, I'm paying you more than I'm making. Oh, yeah, we were going to tell you. For 2 years, you robbed me. For 2 years, you robbed me, and then you were going to tell me. And you see it over and over, but guess what? They make money off our pain. How many MLB guys you see have financial problems? How many NHL guys you see with financial problems? Only thing they post is little black boys with problems, and they get paid off of it. White people have no problems. They do everything correctly. They do everything right. When it comes to sports, they do everything proper with their money. They do everything proper with their family. They don't smoke. They don't drink. They live and make money off our pain and suffering. And they let us know, shut up and dribble, shut up and play ball. Every day when you turn on that television. And then they got the collaborators, is what I call them, who are in their best interest to keep downing and promoting and producing information and rhetoric about little black males, young black males, to make sure we keep them in their place. Because if they ever get out of their place, it's going to be a problem. Financially, contractually, ownership-wise, it's always a power thing. Since the beginning, understand the business. Now I'm talking business. Power and control. If I let you get out of your place, I lose my power, I lose my control. So I can't let you know about money. I can't let you know about ownership. I'm not going to teach it to you at all. You're going to have to find out on your own. And hopefully when you find out, maybe we'll let you in the door. So I am Darnarian McCants. Sound mind, sound body. This is my perception and my perspective of what finances are in America and to the NFL and any other major sports when it comes to young black males on this planet in America. So this is what I've seen. This is what I've been through personally. So I'm just telling you my story. So hopefully my man Thomas Boykin 703, this makes some sense to you.